It's all right. It's all right.
Is everybody good with me connecting to Facebook so we can live stream this?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. All right.
I will post it to Facebook too, but I'm going to post it here as well.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. We are live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Welcome to this Zoom meeting, everyone. I'm so glad to see you guys. And hopefully we'll have some more people
Welcome
jumping
to this
on.
Zoom meeting, everyone. I'm so glad
Hang
to
on, I
see
gotta
you guys.
close out Facebook.
And hopefully we'll have some more people jumping to this Zoom meeting, everyone. I'm so glad to
Hang on, I
see you
gotta
guys.
close out Facebook.
And
Okay. There we go.
Mhm.
So, oh, yeah, Jimmy, are you still there?
Yes.
Um,
I'm still on.
okay. So, what I want to do to get us started right now, hey, Madeline, you're sideways. Can you turn your phone the other way? Just because it's messing with my brain.
Or lay on the floor sideways.
Yeah.
Look like
Leon.
you're standing up.
Um, so what I wanted to start out with is a meditation, and then we'll have a discussion. So if everybody is ready to get comfortable, so we can take this short meditation, and then we'll get rolling. So sit comfortably. You could even lie down if that feels good for you. Just go ahead and place one hand on your heart, maybe one on your belly if that feels good. And close your eyes. Now notice where your shoulders are. And take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let your shoulders relax. Just noticing. You can drop your hands to a comfortable position whenever you're ready. And then bring your attention to your hands. Inhale fully. And as you exhale, relax each finger, your palms, your wrist. Now bringing attention to your jaw. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, relax your jaw. And as you continue to breathe deeply, notice your entire body. Where you're still holding tension, see if you can let it go. Now inhale the deepest breath of the day all the way to your toes. Exhale to the bottom of your lungs. Let it go. Now imagine yourself in a happy place. What is your happy place? Is it a field of wildflowers by a waterfall? Or maybe in your mom's kitchen with apple pie in the oven? Now here in your happy place, what do you see? What do you hear? What does it smell like? Is there a taste? Now, still in your happy place, what does your body feel like in this place? And try to melt into that feeling. Taking in all the senses of your happy place. Notice if anything comes up for you while you're here. Bring one hand back to your heart. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, open your eyes. How does everyone feel?
It's great. It's a great experience.
It is a good experience.
Mm.
Now, I'm going to let Jimmy introduce himself. And he is in Uganda. So he is up really late to be here with us today. So we're very happy that he's here. And he is, I'm just going to let him tell you about himself and what he's doing for Be the Spark.
All right. Greetings, everybody. My name is Jimmy Zest. I'm in Uganda. I'm a literature teacher. I'm a digital expert. I came to meet Myers, Kerry, in one of our book clubs online. We're discussing books. I don't know whether she can recall. So later on in our conversation, she got to introduce to me the Be the Spark movement, where I found it relatable, and I had to volunteer to give in some of my services, and I decided to develop an app for us where people can easily access information, lessons, get here about anything from us. You have a story to tell, you have some important information to put across, we shall be placing it on the application. So those are the few things about me. Later on, as we move on, you'll get to know me more and I'll get to know you more. Thank you.
Your speaker is off, Carrie. You're muted.
Yeah, the
Dang,
dog
that was
in a
nice.
drink.
Oh.
Neil. So I wanted to, give the floor to Jeffrey. Thank you, Jimmy, for that introduction, and thank you for helping us with the app. That's going to be fabulous.
My pleasure.
The floor is yours, Jeffrey.
Oh, okay. My name is Jeffrey Martin. I'm a writer, poet, that kind of thing. But more than all of that, I've always wanted to use my writing or whatever arts what talents I have to evoke some kind of change. And I had brought it up when we talked last that a lot of times we've heard of the speeches and we've heard talks about change, but we don't see well, I haven't done enough acting towards making change. And I want to change. I don't want to just be a talker. I don't want to even be just a writer. I want to be somebody that inspires change through their actions. And I think change will only come that way. If we just talk about it, it won't change. We'll just, we can have this conversation 70 years ago. I remember certain things that I hear now when I was a little kid, the adults around me talking about, discussing at that time when I was a little kid. And those same discussions are coming up right now. So that tells me that in 40 years, 50 years, not too much has changed because those same discussions are coming up. So and I'm not disrespecting any leaders or any people that have been in movements. I'm not disrespecting. I'm just saying we have to do something different, because whatever we've done in the past has not gotten us as far as we should be at this point. We're 2023, and we were just discussing like child trafficking and some things being blocked that these people aren't taken to the full limit of the law. So we're still dealing with things that we were dealing with when I was a kid, that we haven't dealt with. And I think because we've just talked about them, and I think we have to move on them. And I'm not sure with this group, maybe we'll figure out how to move on them and not just talk about them. And so that's why I'm here, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad everybody is here, and all of you have ideas, even if we disagree. I want to disagree with you, so I'll learn. You know, that's how we learn. So I don't know everything. None of us know everything, but if we can get together and put our minds together, maybe we can do some movement and not just talking. So that's why I'm here.
Thus the name, Be the Spark Movement. Because we're not going to just be stagnant. We're moving. Who else, if anybody else would like to introduce themselves or say a little something?
I will. Hi, my name is Karen. I do specialize in patient advocacy. I am on a spiritual journey to doing the great work of self-transformation and healing in traumatic areas, as I continue to work on areas of my life and try to be there to help in other people's lives, to keep them from going through some of the things that I had to learn the hard way.
We're glad you're here, Karen. Thank you. Denise, would you like to speak? You're muted. Do you know how to unmute? Still can't hear you. Hey, Madeline, can you share with Denise how to unmute on the iPhone?
Sure.
Okay. You gotta tell her how to do it. You can always type in the chat box too.
Okay.
Okay.
You tap on the screen and then you hit unmute.
Well, Denise, did you figure it out, Denise? Okay. While Denise figures that out, Madeline, do you want to say anything?
Sure. I am Madeline, and I am here to support you all in helping other people find their empowerment and find a spark in their life, because it is entirely important to change the world as it is right now, because it's not as it should be, and we have not grown as like an entire world at all, and if anything, we're about to go even worse. So I'm just here to help and bring awareness to how the world needs to change, and we need to be spreading compassion and love and kindness, and not what is happening right now. So I am in support.
Glad you're here, Madeline. Okay, Denise,
Okay, can you hear me now?
we can.
Yeah, that's a Verizon thing. Can you hear me now? So yeah, I'm just glad I figured this out, and I'm glad I'm here. And yeah, you brought up fear. And yes, I have a lot of close fear, but I have a lot of fear through what's happening in our world, in our country. One of the fears I do have now is maybe off the subject, but of all the wildfires. That's very concerning to me. And Carrie, you know me well enough to know that I'm a big worrier, and I worry about that. I try to not think the negative, but yeah. So yeah, I worry.
But you're right though. I mean, it's a compassion for our earth as well as for the people on it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, yep.
So glad you joined us today.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Yay.
Barely. Barely,
Denise
I'm
is
on
a
my
yoga
iPhone.
Yeah, but you did it. Like Denise is a yoga instructor and she worked in my studio with me.
Yes.
And she's
And
one of
yeah,
my very bestest
we,
friends.
yes, we became really good friends. So yes, definitely.
Good to have her.
Yeah.
Mary, after everyone share, if I may share something with the group that is very viable to what we're speaking about.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just ask Neil if he wants to say anything.
Hey, I'm Neil. I'm married to Carrie and,
Yep.
and Madeline's dad, but, happy to be here. Look forward to, expanding my horizon. I think for me personally, I tend to look at how things have impacted me versus how it impacts the larger body of people. And that's something I hope I can learn from this group and expand how I look at things in a little bit different manner. That's it.
As always, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Okay, Karen, the floor is yours.
I want to say, because when I was living in California, I know it to be fact. And Mayor talked about the wildfires. And I want to also touch on the topic with Jeffrey with the trafficking. But a lot of things as far as the wildfires has been pre-orchestrated. And the reason I say has been pre-orchestrated is because our leaders of this country is keeping a lot of things under the table, what is to take place, what they have lined up to take place. So to distract people from asking or even raising the conversation to what they're doing, they're orchestrating a lot of things to happen. And I know that for a fact because when I lived in California, used to get people from New York calling, oh, are you okay? It's a bunch of wildfires. And what they were doing was they were dropping things from helicopters, which caused the bushfires, which caused people to have to evacuate. A lot of these things that's taking place is orchestrated to keep us blind at what's really getting ready to happen.
Wow.
With the everything turning into the Biden books, where you're not gonna be able to go to the store and use your card, but to a certain amount of money, where they will be controlling everything. And they're trying to keep us blinded and not see what's really getting ready to take place in this world. And with COVID, it was just the beginning of it. Now everything else is gonna fall into place like planned. And people don't see it coming because they try to do things to keep us blindfolded, which is the orchestrated fires in certain areas. And back to Jeffrey, with the child trafficking, they can do something about it, but they're not doing anything about it because a lot of them is a part of it. A lot of our officials are a part of it and have hands in it. And I can share where I get my information from because I study. I haven't been studying as much as I should with my current situation of having a 3-year-old. But yes, a lot of these things are pre-orchestrated to keep us blinded to what's really getting ready to take place in this world.
And what is really getting ready to take place?
The crash of a dollar, where you're not going to be able, you go to the supermarket right now and half the machines, you can't use debit.
Yeah.
Certain machines you can
Yep.
only use cash. Then it's getting ready to be a big food shortage.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting, if you go in the stores, half the meat we are buying is no good. It's getting ready to be a major food shortage, and that's part of the plan.
Mm. Right.
Well, I think that brings us right back to my, I guess a friend of mine called it a conspiracy theory today or whatever, but my thought is they keep us in fear. And in fear, we are easily manipulated and controlled. And I had a conversation yesterday, and they were telling the person that when we have an immediate fear, like a bear is chasing us, right? That we release cortisol in our body, and that surge of cortisol, adrenaline, helps us to think clearly so that we can get out of the path of the danger. But if we live in if we live in this stress and this fear all the time, that cortisol is always surging through our bodies. And then we actually, instead of being clear in thought, we get foggy in our thought patterns because that cortisol is always coursing through our bodies and not able to do what it needs to do. And then what does that do? It makes us sick. It makes us foggy headed. It makes us more fearful. It makes us tired. And all that stuff is very low vibrational, and it's keeping us down physically, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually.
That's why mental health today, the numbers has increased tremendously because of the things that is orchestrated for, not for our wellness, not for to be assistance to us, but to keep us living in low vibration situations,
Right.
to keep the illusion over our eyes. A lot of people are woke today. A lot of people are woke and are on top of knowing what's really taking place.
So how do we help each individual to step out of all the media heaviness and all the fear? And we're even fearful of each other, right? Like
Yeah.
racism or, people coming across the borders.
Well, you know what I can say about the help. When we go to help, we have to be super careful of the help we give, because our help can come back and appear that it's not help,
Right.
when actually it is. So, but I still move in love and light. I move in love and light because that's the only way I can get through. So I want for my brother or my sister, or anyone for that matter, the same thing I want for myself, I want for others. And if I have something to give them that would help them or pull them up out of the barrel, I would.
Right.
I will, and I have, and I still do. Because that's what I would want for myself.
Right.
If somebody was in position to even give me a word of encouragement to make me feel better about my situation and not be selfish and self-centered because they are a little more grounded or a little more fortunate, so they cannot give a word of encouragement.
Right.
And
I think
just
Jimmy had some.
sorry, go on.
I think Jimmy had something to say. Jimmy, do you
Okay.
still have?
I had something, but he had already come to the part of resolution. I was trying to add on what you guys were discussing about the by hunger, trafficking, and all this stuff.
You're fuzzy.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was saying
There you go.
that I wanted to add on what Jeffrey and discussed later on. Are you getting me?
Barely.
Okay, I'll add on later.
Now we can hear
Let's
you.
proceed. I'm saying we can proceed. I'll add on later.
Okay.
Okay, you guys.
Okay. Jeffrey.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, as far as having conversations with, when's the last? Well, I can speak for myself. When's the last time I walked through a store or a marketplace or wherever, or a mall, and I actually had a conversation with a stranger? You know, we don't even make eye contact with each other nowadays. I just think that's odd that we don't. That really seems simple, but just those things, that's a starting place. You know, just being able to speak to somebody and have a conversation with somebody you don't, we don't do that. You know, a lot of us were taught when we were, well, at least I was taught this way. You make eye contact, you say hello. A lot of times people they don't make eye contact. You know, everybody's maybe it's the fear thing. I don't know, but it just seems odd that human beings who are such a social animal do such unsocial things, antisocial things, as far as when they interact with one another. So I think that's a beginning. That's a beginning spot. Maybe we could start there. I don't know.
Oh,
Yes, I agree. I find it so interesting that like we used to like have communities, like people used to have communities, and now it's like people are scared of talking to people.
right.
And
Yeah, so true.
it's just, yeah, it's like you think about people who go on the subway every day at the same time and they probably see the same people, but they're like scared.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird.
It is. I've been on, I live in the area where I am, it's North Hills, California. I've been on this street for 6 years. I probably know 2 people. Seriously. And the other day, a guy down the street had I like country music. He had a get together and he invited everybody on the street. And I thought that was so big of him because you don't see that anymore. He says, this is the best way to meet people because, I said, I've been here 6 years. I don't even know you. You're 2 doors down from me. And that's the abnormality of that is normal now. That's weird that, and when I was growing up, you knew, even if you didn't like somebody on your street, you knew everybody,
Mhm.
Now you can live on a street for 6, 7, 10 years and you don't know them. And somebody may have kids the same age as yours, and those kids don't know each other on the same street. So that's, man, we've really fallen off as far as that. We used to have Halloween parties. We block off the street and everybody go to one house. One parent would be nice enough to let us have a Halloween party. They bring everybody together. Wow, we're gonna have, but you just don't see those kind of things now, and that's so sad to me. It really
Yeah.
is.
It's sad. It is
Like
sad.
community.
Yeah. And in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like connection is one of the things that humans need. And I think technology like this brings us together, but it still keeps us apart,
Yeah.
So, and I think Madeline and I were talking earlier today, and I don't know, something, she's like, well, they're always on their phones, because we were talking about, I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but she's like, well, yeah, they're always on their phones, so they're not making eye contact and that's connections. And but I think you're really onto something, Jeffrey, because we would rather be fearful of somebody than actually speak to them and get to know their story. And
Yeah. Bring interesting stories too. I remember passing out some stuff to the homeless. I have my heart, because I was there at one time, not for very long, but just that experience, I just really hone in on the homeless. So I'm passing
So
out
do I.
and I remember this young lady saying, it would be nice, and maybe I brought this up before, it would be nice if when people give us things, they ask us what we need. They don't ask, they don't talk to us. They're doing a great deed for Christmas time and Thanksgiving and passing out, but they never talk to us. She says, I've gotten old underwear, used socks. So they give us these things thinking they're doing a good thing, but the good thing is to sit down and just have a conversation with people, not just passing on and say, oh, Merry Christmas, have a good life, I'll see you next year. That's not community. That's not community. That's not community, but we fooled ourselves into thinking, just do this and it makes up for community. That's not community. Community is interacting with people, regardless of where they are in their stage in life. It's communicating with people, interacting with them. So,
Amen. Amen.
Well,
Go ahead.
it's me. Okay. Well, I don't see that here, Carrie. I mean, in our neighborhood, and maybe because we're from the South, I feel a big community here. I mean, we just had neighbors move in behind us, actually 2 gay women. We actually love them. We've become really good friends right away. We have we put a gate between our yards, and in our whole neighborhood, we definitely have brought people together. And maybe it is a Southern thing. I'm from Michigan, and it's not like that up there. Everybody's afraid to talk to each other. But here, I definitely feel a bond with people. So, but maybe that's me, because I do go out and smile at the other person, or I do try to make conversation with someone. So, yeah.
Well, and that's the difference too, is that you take responsibility for your energy and you speak to people and you make those efforts to connect with people. And so here's a prime example of how you get it back once you put it out there, because you don't feel fearful, do you, Denise? And you don't feel that disconnection.
No, I don't feel fearful with talking to people, and yes, and talking to friends and making friends. I have fears in other places, but but yeah.
Well, some fear is healthy, right? Like, you're not going to
yeah.
go walk down a dark alley by yourself in the middle of the night.
Right.
Like, that's some
right.
healthy fear. But to live in that state of fear all the time, and not being able to rest, and not being able to, have a connection, because you are fearful of whatever's going on in the world or whatever's going on in your neighborhood. And
Right.
regionally, I think you're right that there is some definite differences in regional.
Yeah.
I was watching this little short not talk, but Toni Morrison, the author, Toni Morrison, was talking about humans, and she said, what if we could get past the social construct of color? Because that's a made-up thing.
Yeah.
How has that worked so many years? She said, there's only one family. It's the human family. That's scientifically, there's only one race. It's the human. How has that worked to divide us? Same thing with religion. How has that worked to divide us so well for so long? It works. It still works. I'm baffled. In 2023, it still works.
The
Amazing.
social construct, and like I can see like this professor at Harvard, right? And he does this study. Now I'm being facetious, but I can see this professor at Harvard, and he's like, oh, well, here's a good term for this social construct. And then he puts it out there, and the media latches on, and all the schools latch on. And then everybody's like, oh, well, yeah, that's the reason that my life isn't working right, because of this social construct that was made up in Harvard University.
Well, I think it's easier for people to blame others for what's going on in their life than take personal responsibility. So I think that's why it's so easy to keep those social constructs and to keep us divided.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you get past that, but I think that's a big part of it.
Taking personal responsibility is how you get past it.
Yeah, my own sideways again. I'm confused.
Bro.
Yeah, absolutely. It's taking that personal responsibility, and that's a big part of what I'm hoping that this movement will be. It's like I take personal responsibility to make the world a better place. So I'm going to go out in the world and do good things and tell people about their potential and, make myself not be so scary, right?
Lift up,
Do what?
lift people up.
Yeah. And I think it was Jeffrey, in our last call, we talked about, I could be wrong. I think he talked about knowledge and going out and not just accepting things, but, looking at things on your own, forming your own opinions and, investigate things a little bit versus just take what others tell you to heart, which I think knowledge is, I hate to say power, but knowledge is freedom. And I think that's very important for all of us.
So
Oh,
true.
absolutely. An experience.
Yeah.
Like going out and making experiences happen.
Yeah, there's this T-shirt that I had one time. It says, "You think knowledge is, or education?" I think it said education. You think education is expensive? Try ignorance, and it's put in
Yeah.
a category because boy, ignorance leads to a lot of things, a lot of things. So ignorance is very, very costly in a lot of
Well,
ways.
You're right. And I think a lot of people choose to be ignorant because then if you don't know, then you have no responsibility to do anything about it.
Mhm.
And it's comfortable.
Right.
If mommy did it, daddy did it, whatever, uncle did it, it's comfortable. Just kind of stay right in that lane and just, that lane. It's comfortable. You know where the bumps are, where the speed bumps, where you have to slow down. That lane is easy. So it's really comfortable to say, I'll just stay here instead of evolving. I think as human beings, I should never, 2 days ago, I should be a little bit different than I was 2 days ago because I've learned something. And I think we have to take accountability of that. We should be evolving. We should be learning. So I'm not saying become an Einstein. All of us can't do that, but we can evolve into something better than we were 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 6 months ago. We learn and we progress. But I think staying in that lane is such a hindrance. It retards our advancement, I think, in a lot of ways.
I agree.
It makes you stagnant as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a puddle of water where the mosquitoes all breed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I when I teach my kids, I just taught the 5th graders recently, and I tell them, I said, imagine that in the 5th grade, you're in the circle. And if you don't ever get out of that circle, you're never going to go to the 6th grade and the 7th grade and the 8th and et cetera, et cetera. So it is imperative that you step out of that comfort zone so you learn and grow. And I think part of that is actually meeting people of all different backgrounds, races, however you define yourself. Like if you want to really learn something, you've got to meet people and learn from them and their experiences.
That's what life is about.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So true.
Yep.
Yeah, so true. We have to, in order to learn, you have to sit down with people you don't know or that think differently from. That's a big thing too, I think. I don't want to be the big mouth in this whole thing. I want you guys to talk. I'm sorry, I got all these opinions.
No, you're fine. Let me just interject what Jimmy said. Everything you share is relatable, and that's why I want to take quality time to listen and learn from you guys. And Jimmy, I think we have some stuff to learn from you too. I think the value of Jimmy being here, and hopefully as this grows, we will collect people from other countries too, is that we know that in the United States, we're not alone, that, Uganda has issues and we're all experiencing, the same dysfunction throughout our world, and we're not unique as the United States. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everything you are discussing here, it's relatable. It's not issues, and our society is a growing society. Therefore, most of the things going through you guys in the US, you have already gone through them. So that's why I want to learn more from you. Maybe I may have a chance to stop some of the things that reasons.
I think
That
we
is
got
it.
most of that. So you're saying that everything is relatable and that the same things happen in your country and what you see in the world is very similar, correct?
For example, the food issue was discussing
You're still
down here.
fuzzy.
I'm saying,
Hmm.
for example, what I discussed earlier on about food, the same thing is happening in our country.
Right.
Has consolidated the food industry. They have power over food distributors. They decide when food prices are afforded and when they are raised in order to govern these people and strengthen themselves in power.
I
Are you
think
getting me?
we're getting parts of it.
So
Can't really hear that much.
this,
Yeah. Do you
sorry, I was saying this same is happening this side. Let it be child trafficking, whereby innocent children are abducted to engage in terrorist activities.
Jimmy,
If you have ever heard about it,
Jimmy, do you care to type what you're
so
saying? I'm sorry, your connection is not great.
Yeah.
You're very valuable to our team, so and while you're typing, yeah. It's all right, he says.
Aw.
But Jimmy, I would love to invite you to type on our Facebook page also, the Be the Spark Movement Facebook page, because I know you have some real wisdom and experience to share with us. So please feel free. And I would love to put something of yours on the website too.
I think he's muted or he's not there.
Yeah, he said he will type it. He'll type
Right.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll read it if y'all want me to.
you can discuss. I will be typing later on. You get the chance to see what I'll
Yeah, I'm still not getting it very clearly.
Mm.
But please type it because we really want to
Yeah.
know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so while he is typing, what I hear us all saying is that we really just have to take personal responsibility for going out and lifting people up and letting some of these myths, these social constructs,
Mhm.
the walls around those be broken, because
Yeah.
that's all they are, because we're all human and we all have the same blood running through our bodies. We all have the same needs. We all have the same desires, as in,
Mhm. We all want to be happy. We
yeah,
all want to live together. Yep.
Big facts.
Yeah.
we need
Live in
communication.
harmony.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jimmy says, I was saying that most of the things you were discussing are happening. These end on a large scale. Absolutely.
Definitely. Definitely.
Let it be about manipulating food prices or child trafficking. Yes. Yes.
No problem.
Yeah. It's everything. Like if you start going down the rabbit hole, listing all the things that are kind of messed up in our society, it gets deep and
Yeah.
dark.
Well,
So true.
most of them are the higher power people as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
But
You know,
that's
they
why
said,
go ahead.
they did a study, and if white collar crime, because your daughter just made me think about this, if white collar crime was had to adhere to the law like blue collar crime, it would change the economic balance of the United States. So that's how much white collar crime gets away with crime. So when your daughter said that, it made me think about, yeah, they get away with a lot of stuff. I'm not saying they're all bad,
Right.
but a lot of things, yeah, they get away with, we wouldn't get away with on this
Mhm.
level, you know.
And they
Well,
get
when-
it because they have money.
Money, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, because they have money.
Yeah.
When you make the laws, you know how to break the laws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without it. Or
And
find
I think
loopholes.
that's a powerful realization.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
true.
Okay. For example, about trafficking, many kids are being abducted and later initiated into terrorist groups that
Wow.
later attack remote country areas. Oh, wow.
That's
Wow.
I did not
insane.
know that.
Yeah, that's sad.
I think there's so much that we do not know.
Hmm.
And the things we know, kind of like Karen is saying, are distractions.
So true.
Yeah.
That's something to think about.
Dude, I hate that she had to leave.
I know.
Oh,
She'll
Karen.
rewatch it. She'll be back. She'll be back next time for sure. I'm still keeping in touch with her.
Okay, good. I love Karen.
So,
How do you feel? I wanted to ask, what's your daughter's name again?
Madeline.
Madeline.
Madeline, from your angle, because I haven't worked with a lot of young people late in the last few years, but in New York, that's basically so I was able to keep my ear to the concrete just because I was around so many young people. I knew how they were thinking, what they were seeing, how they were feeling, but I haven't been in that arena in a while. How is it from your perspective? How do you see the world from coming from, well, what are you, 17, 18?
18.
18, okay. How is the world looking to you? Because this world's gonna be yours. And how is it looking to you? Are you like, oh man, I'm optimistic? How do you feel about because I asked that to my daughter who's a little bit older than you, and she had a interesting, but I don't want to tell you what she said. I want to know what you're seeing at 18.
I have a lot of hope for like the people of the world to bring change. And I kind of see that a lot of people want to they want to bring change and they don't want to be stuck in this cycle because our earth is dying, number one, like Denise said earlier. And I don't really have that much hope for higher power people at all. I feel like they just keep making the world worse and low-key are killing their people. But I'm pessimistic, but at the same time a little optimistic. So
Okay. So when you have these conversations say you have a conversation with your best friends, like 6 of your best friends, are they kind of on the same page as you? Like they're optimistic about certain things, but how does that conversation go? Or is it all about just parties? What?
it's definitely parties. My friends are very environmentally like motivated. Like they really want to bring change. Yes. That's what I love about my generation is we're very about preventing climate change and trying to just like help with everything that's happening because obviously animals are dying, animals are going extinct, and it is a huge issue that
Yes,
isn't
it is.
paid attention to. Yeah.
Okay.
But I have a lot of artsy friends, so don't really have any that are mainly interested in politics.
Oh, okay.
But what'd you say, Jeffrey? It's the artists that are going to change the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's who that's always been. They're always going to go after the thinkers and the artists because they kind of set the tone. They have they have an impact on the masses, and people in power know that. That's why all this garbage comes out as music. If you think about it, you look at music, certain music, not all music, but a lot of music is like nonsensical and it doesn't make any sense and very vulgar and all. It's a reason for that. I think I was reading something that it takes $250,000 to get a record played on the radio. So they're not just putting out anything. Everybody can't just come up there and say, hey, I got 250,000 for you to play on. So even that's a political game. Even that's a political, what music is allowed to, you have music underground that you can go listen to, but as far as the mainstream, what most of us are hearing if we listen to the radio, that's 250 G's to get that record played. So that's a lot of money. So somebody's putting some money behind that. They expect that for that to have some kind of capital coming back from it,
Yeah,
So,
like you were saying, like vulgar stuff, like they want to be putting that out,
Yeah.
and they don't putting out like the good stuff,
Yeah.
like
the heartfelt stuff.
promoting good things.
Yeah. But there's a lot of talented people out here, but you don't hear them.
Mm-mm.
You got to go underground to hear them, or they're passing out their CDs somewhere outside of market or something. But you don't hear a lot of these talented people who are probably frustrated because they won't put on that garbage. They won't play that because that's not art. That's
Right.
something else.
Let me read Jimmy's real quick. On food, there is tribalism where the government has consolidated the food industry.
Mm.
It determines food prices, their rise and fall. This helps them keep the citizens in fear and depression.
Mm.
This has affected the society so much. People are greatly depressed and traumatized. My greatest fear is how young generations for the entire continent will be.
Mm.
I
Wow.
agree. 100%.
Yeah, especially with children being depressed and traumatized.
Right.
Mhm.
And even if they want to work through that, they really can't, because in order to be in society, you just have to keep going.
Well, and just thinking about the food stuff is it's expensive to eat healthy.
Right.
And even our healthy foods don't have the nutrition that they used to have.
All right.
And the youth, I see a lot of youth starting to come into learning to garden and take care of plants and learn how to grow food on their own. And I think that's incredible because I grew up gardening, and we of course have a garden. Let's see. Jimmy says about climate change, if you visit Africa, you will get to know that our safety worries, and what worries me most is the few have advocated for a better world. People are busy in chasing after the tangible part of life, and this is being manipulated by the leaders of the world, top leaders of the world.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it.
Great facts.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
And what I'm seeing here as we talk is it's all connected.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Food,
Yeah.
it's all connected.
Dying animals,
Mhm.
environment. Yep.
Like everything, if you really look at it.
So we have to get out of this foundation, this low vibrational foundation of fear and apathy and lack of hope. Farmers no longer use organic fertilizer, and they are using destructive chemicals. Yes,
Oh,
which
Because
in
it's
turn,
cheaper.
yeah, we ingest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also, if your body's weak and sick, then your
Mm-hmm.
mind is weak and sick. Again,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything's connected,
All connected.
And then the pharmacy makes more money.
right? Yep. Then they put more chemicals in your body to cover up what your
Yeah.
dysfunction is, and you really don't ever feel better. You kind of stay at this.
Just enough to keep you alive. We want to keep you
Yeah.
sick, but keep you alive and make that money off of you,
Yeah.
Okay.
So did we solve any problems?
Well, that's the hard part. That's coming
Yeah,
up.
it is the hard part.
That's the
I
hard
mean, Denise, it's one thing at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. One day at a time. Yep.
Spreading awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spreading awareness. That's true.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Yes,
said,
definitely.
my resolution will be, I suppose we continue this movement. The world really needs these friends. Yeah, this friends. Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely. The solution begins with you all.
Aw.
Us.
Yeah.
We're a new tribe. And,
Yep.
and you know,
Yeah.
it all starts with like, it's like scraping butter off the top of milk, right? But if you want the milk, you got to
Ew.
scrape butter off.
Ew.
I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you're trying to get down to like that foundation.
Yeah.
And once you excavate that foundation, then you can grow. Maybe
Yeah.
like I don't, let's
And
use the
then,
garden.
you know what, that cream might be, you know how I got married so young, so I didn't have any crazy 20s, but maybe the scraping is where people won't think that they have to be crazy in their 20s and waste all that time, because that's wasted time is wasted time, whether you're 20 or 115. Wasted time, you don't get it back. So maybe we can have that influence on younger people, 18, 19 years, and they say, you know, I'm not going to waste my time putting things in my body that's not good for it. Maybe I need to look at the world a little bit more responsible because I have to live in it. So maybe we won't have those wasted, because you hear that. I hear like from people I grew up with, I see them, hey, well, the 20s were crazy because, you know, we're supposed to, no, you're not supposed to. Wasted time is wasted time. You're not supposed to waste time, you know, and they blame it on youth. It's not, no, it's stupidity. It's not youth, you know, it's not youth. So maybe
Well,
we can start that, I don't know, foundation a little earlier, instead of people getting 35 and 40 and thinking about it, maybe in their 20s, like, well, I can have fun, but at the same time, you know, I live in a serious world. I want to look at the world a little more serious than some of my, you know, partners or whatever. You know, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
well, and I think you're onto something there too, Jeffrey, is the way I think about it. And this is why I teach the 5th graders what I do, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, is that we don't want to wait until we're all messed up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Jimmy says, Jeffrey, you're right. The age bracket influences the world best. Absolutely. But we don't want to wait until we're 30 and have to excavate all that we've messed up.
Right.
So we build a foundation from them from elementary school and build them up from children, so they don't go through all this horrific stuff to have to heal from as adults.
Yeah.
Then they're
Yeah.
functional throughout their lives instead of having to rebuild from a
From
dysfunction.
a bunch of from a bunch of mistakes. A cop told me this. A cop from Harlem. I never will forget. And I'm not really a cop fan, but a cop from Harlem. We were sitting having this conversation, and it was a female cop from Harlem. I was living in Rochester. She was visiting her father up in Rochester, and him and I. So we were having this conversation, and she said something that was so profound. She was saying that in the Black community, the mistake we make is we look for one leader, and this may be in all communities, I don't know, but we look for one leader, and we're looking for that one leader to just kind of have everything together. Whereas what we should be doing in our churches and community centers is building leaders across the board. So you have, instead of having 2 or 3 leaders, you have 50 or 60 coming out of this building, 150 coming out of here. We should be building leaders all the time, so they're not so easily manipulated. But if you have one person, you're looking for this Messiah to come and change everything, that's never going to happen.
You're
It
right.
doesn't work that way. It only works in books, but in real life, it does not work. And so if we build leaders from the ground up, just, you know, families, like, we're going to build little leaders here. These people will think on their own. They will think independently, and they won't be so easily manipulated.
Right.
You know, so I think we should build leaders from the gate. Free
And
thinkers
that-
from the gate. You know, when they're 17, 18, they're already thinking, well, you know what? I'm going to buy me some property. I'm going to buy me some land. I want to build my, you know, how do I get bees together where I can have my own honey? Thinking like that at 17, 18, 20 years old is a whole lot different than, well, what party are we going to? Yeah, let's go to the strip club. You know, that's not getting us anywhere.
Right.
So just building leaders from the foundation from a very young age, and just having that process continue.
I love that.
And then that also like helps the leaders have closer relationships with their followers.
True.
And that is even more beneficial.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Good point.
That's a community, because then we all have input into what's going on.
And
So
there's some
maybe it is a little
accountability.
hint of a solution right here.
And then leaders are accountable. I think a lot of leaders don't feel like they're accountable. You know, there's this wall, this barrier between them and the masses that are supposed to be helping. But in that case, if everybody's thinking on that level, he or she is more accountable. Like, hey, we need to replace you. We got a bunch of leaders out here. We don't need to depend on just you. You know, you don't have the answers. You're not doing what you said you would do.
Right. So let me read what Jimmy had to say. I had a thought about this, friends. What if we start by forming small Be the Spark community groups, find ways of influencing our communities under this global umbrella? I don't know whether you know about the Rotary organizations, but we can have something like that. You guide me about this, please. I don't know much about Rotary, but I know of them.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, and Jimmy suggested this to me the other day. There's like the Meetup app, and to join a lot of those meetups and start just meeting people and talking to people throughout our communities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding
So
people
we
with
need to- yeah. So we need to spark little communities off of the greater one. Great idea.
Yeah.
Well, I think this has been a phenomenal conversation. And I
I'm
think
glad I joined. Yeah,
I'm glad you
Good.
joined too.
yeah.
Yeah, just hearing each other's experiences and thoughts, it's very powerful. Rotary has community clubs in various areas, which are later embraced within one umbrella, which share the same vision. Okay, I'm going to check into that in our local area and see what I can find out. I actually think I have a friend that's a member of the Rotary Club in Asheville. So keep those ideas coming. Of course, we have the Facebook group. So if you have a thought, put it in there. If you want to do a video and put it in there, do that, because that gets people, are easier than reading. Let me finalize with the remarks about the app before we go. Yes, please. Tell us about the app.
So exciting.
It is so exciting. And as Jimmy's typing this, I want to tell you like my vision of it. I wrote this whole thing about it, that I hope eventually will, we want to have people's stories about what they've been through and how they've healed and how they want to connect with each other. But I also want professionals to be involved, like a little 2-minute tip for life as a doctor or a psychiatrist or a therapist, yoga teacher, meditation, anybody, and that they are invested to where they're gonna, for free, offer like a little 2-minute video or a blog post or something that will give people tips and hopes of things that they can do in their life. So that's one thing I'm hoping to build within this app. And Jeffrey, what are your thoughts?
No, I was, as you were saying that, it would be good too to have that kind of outlet, because sometimes people feel like they're by themselves. I think that's why I talk so much when I come on here, because you don't have a lot of these conversations. Kind of feel like you're by yourself sometimes. At least I do.
No.
So it's good to have people with like mind, or even if they don't completely agree with you, it's still just good to have people that are concerned about the world around them and having those conversations. Because a lot of times you feel like you don't. It's like Dick Gregory said, once you take off the glasses, you can never put them back on. Once you see things as they are, you can never see them how you want them to be. You see them how they are. And everybody doesn't take off those glasses. So some people have rose-colored glasses for their whole lives, and you can't have those conversations. But when you meet people that you can, it's a relief to have those conversations with just more than yourself, just writing it to yourself, or, so I think it's a good relief for people to find out that there are other people on this planet in their communities probably that feel the same way that they do. And that gives them a way. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, look at this group. They're thinking about the same, or talking about the same things that concern me. So I think that's really good. That's a mental health thing. That's good for your mental health, having somebody that you can talk to about things that concern you.
Absolutely. The thing I talk to my the kids about is that, especially talking about journaling, is sometimes you never know what you're thinking until you write it or speak it. Then you're like, holy cow, So we need these communities.
Yeah.
So Jimmy says, surely if possible, I suggest we do the app launch by the end of the month. Mostly it will embark on recommendations to all resources, information, books, songs, video content, lessons, our communities, and so much more.
Mm,
Gives me chills,
yeah.
right? Like this is going to be so good. And Jimmy, we appreciate you putting this together for us. And as you, I mean, I know most of you guys personally, but we do have a GoFundMe for that app. We have not gotten anything out of it yet, but you know, we're trying to raise $600 at least. I put 1,000 because I've paid for the website and you know, stuff like that. That you know, we have to pay for Zoom and Canva and all that stuff. So that's why I put it up to 1,000. So Jimmy says on a later stage, I will integrate it to our personal customized live stream platform. You rock.
You are the man, I tell you.
It blows my mind to even think about that.
Great.
All right. Well, unless anybody has anything else to say, we're gonna end here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I said, yeah, I'm about ready to sign off myself. So
Mhm.
I so appreciate each of you being here.
yeah, nice to see you all. And
Yeah, nice.
nice to see
Yeah.
you, Jeffrey. I think
Yeah,
you did a podcast together or something, didn't you?
Did.
Yeah.
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 Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yeah, good to meet
Yep.
you. Good to see
So
everybody.
that's glad I got to join.
Yeah. Hope
Yes.
the momentum keeps on.
Madeline, you're all grown up, girl.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
In sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you all. And I
Yes,
will
thank you,
post
Jimmy.
this video
Thank
on
you.
our
Amazing.
page. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll post the video on our Facebook page, and our next one will be August 16th. So mark your calendars. Actually, we might do some changing of that around because I know that Jimmy is late.
Oh.
It's late for him, so
Oh,
we'll let you guys know.
it's all right. It's all right. Thank you for
So
being
much.
around.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Thank you all. We will see you
All right.
soon.
Good seeing everybody.
Take care.
So
See ya.
much. Take care. Bye. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Too.